Hey guys, welcome to Real Estate with Ryan. Thank you for tuning in. Every Saturday, we try to join with you to give you the up-to-date information. And as always, my name is Ryan Coleman, your host, along with my lovely co-host, April Coleman.
Well, hello. I made it today.
Long time no see.
Definitely.
Glad to have you back.
Well, thanks.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We've got a good show for you. As always, the real estate market is hot and heavy and so much going on out there. So we're excited to bring you this show and kind of talk about some of the things that we've got going on. Got some housekeeping issues that we're going to get into. But before we start the show, let me give you an idea of what we're talking about and kind of what the show is about today. So the real estate market, as you know, over the last couple of years has been very competitive. And I had something that happened a couple of weeks ago. And I said, well, let's talk about it. So the big misconception, and we talked about this the other day, is do I go with the listing agent or do I use a buyer's agent to help me get the best deal? Like, Ryan, I'm looking for real estate. The market's competitive. You know, houses are going quicker than I can get to. Isn't it best that I just go with the listing agent, or maybe I can save some money that way? So we're going to talk about why going with a buyer agent is always a great advantage and will always save you money. So
Definitely.
Talking about buyer representation today and how that's going to save you money in time.
You got it.
So we got some housekeeping issues and some congrats. Always good.
We do.
Good part of the show we like to see.
I know.
So
It's always the best part.
It is exciting. We helped a lot of customers. Been super busy here in July and June. So
I know. It's been crazy. We have a few closings that have happened with Mill Lane, Colonial Drive.
they just closed their day. Congrats to them. They were super excited. What,
I know.
a day on the market and under contract.
I know. They said they were really stressed out about that.
This is the first house that they sold, by the way.
Yes.
Bless them. They're sweet.
They are very. Cambridge Shores.
Congrats.
Sold it. Martin Mill. We sold that for them. Finally, we're so excited about them.
Great clients, and had to sell that back early in December. One of those things where we had those transactions where all these different things could happen, and so excited to get them closed. Great people. Finally got it done for them, so I know they're super excited.
Yes. The Burnett's closed Fairgrounds, and so they're working on their new construction home. So hopefully here in about 6 months, they'll be in their new house.
Awesome.
I know. So we have so many more. Let me tell you about the pendings. Finally, Andy's Ridge is going to close. Peterson Road, both of our Petersons, 148 here in Knoxville, the one in Farragut and the one in Greenback.
Are they cousins in Peter?
I know. It kind of sounds like it, doesn't it? They're too far apart. So St. Regent's is going to be closing soon. Center Oak Drive, just coming up next week. Poplar Grove, the buyers are going to be closing. And Park Lane, got a contract on them. Forestdale, Hickory Drive, Red Hill Lane out in Clinton, and then South Highway 321. We're really excited for them. Gladwood, Elk Springs, Cove Point, and Asselberry. And then we have hopefully a couple more going on that we can say officially congrats to.
You've been working hard. That's why you haven't been here. She's been taking care of everybody. She's been working so hard.
It's just so crazy. I can't keep up with all of them.
Yeah, it's just that time of season. So excited helping a lot of our great clients. And thank you guys that are tuning in or you listen to us every week. Thank you for your trust and opportunity. We can't do it without you.
Definitely.
We know there's a lot of selections. We know there's a lot of choices. And we don't take it lightly. I don't care if it's a $60,000 deal or it's a couple $1 million deal. It means a lot. And we're honored to be selected. We're honored to work with you guys. So we know it's never easy. We know real estate, they say real estate is one of the most stressful situations or one of the 5 top stressful moves that you could ever do.
I know that's what
I think we catch it all the time. I mean, there's always that hostility is, oh, where am I going to move to? How soon do I need to get there? Where's my agent? You know, and bless them. That's what we're here for.
I know. I mean, we've been through it too, so we know how stressful it is.
Yeah, and so that's why we really appreciate you guys and staying with us throughout the whole course of the transaction. It's never easy, but we try to make it as smooth as possible.
It's not.
So we'll dive into our show, guys. We're talking about buyer representation, and kind of as I opened the show, we were talking about kind of the misconception. There was a news article that I saw out there where this individual said, well, we don't need to go with the buyer's agent. We'll just go ahead and go to the listing agent. We're going to save money.
Oh.
And I really just
save money.
You know, you get this buyer. And so this was one of my agents is working with a client. We showed one of our listings. And, you know, it's one of these clients that have had 15 properties to look at it, you guys, and had each one time blocked for 30-minute sections across from here to Morristown. The house was in La Follette to Morristown, and had them all line blocked out. Only wanted to work with the listing agent, only wanted to talk to the listing agent, in the idea that he may buy one of the 15.
Oh.
And his idea was that I'm going to get a better deal.
Okay. Let's
So
debunk that myth.
So I looked at, me and my agent were chatting, and Christy and I were chatting about that. And it's just so far from the truth. And then you look at a couple articles. I had another call the other day. We've got a large amount of listing inventory in the market. So we deal with a lot of buyers and sellers. So we do a lot of real estate in the area. And so having that opportunity kind of made me think, we're so busy in our industry and we kind of get in our little bubble. I was like, that's a good idea. I wonder if that makes any sense. What does the consumer say about that? And I chatted with a consumer that called on a property that was in Kentucky. So this is the second one.
Okay.
And she said, well, Ryan, I always think that we can maybe get a better deal. And I said, well, that's a great question, but tell me about that. Why are we getting a better deal? And she really couldn't come up with a solution, but other than saying that she thought it would give her flexibility to get a better deal on the price.
Okay.
Which, makes sense. And I said, well, that could be the case in some situations, but more than likely, your costs are going to be built into the deal. See, guys, when you're out there, most all the time when we start looking for a home, in our industry, the seller is going to pay the commission, buyer is going to pay closing costs. That's kind of the rule of the thumb. Or if you're paying cash, there's a smaller amount of closing costs.
Right.
So when we're working with a lot of agents, great agents in the area that we work with, we have an opportunity to work with them through something called our MLS or co-brokerage opportunities. And so we share a certain position of commission in the deal. Now, the real savvy buyers, the real savvy customers out there, they think, well, we'll just go ahead and not pay them that, and then they'll discount that from the price.
Oh.
And I can tell you that that's so far from the truth.
Right.
More than likely, the commission's going to always be the same.
Definitely.
Or there may be a lesser amount, but it's not really going to benefit you.
No, it won't.
And I think the biggest thing that we want to talk about the show is, how can a buyer agent help you in the market? Yes, you want to save time. We all want a great deal, but how can it bring value to you guys?
Right.
So the first thing I was talking about is timing.
Yes.
What do you think on timing, April?
Yeah, I think timing is the biggest thing that you can talk about, because when you look at trying to meet all those different criteria for your buyer to save time, what if they are looking on their own? They don't really know anything about the property. And so you can do that research, and then you can come up with all their criteria that they need to meet. What if they don't want an HOA, but they didn't realize that the property had an HOA and went and put a contract on it?
I don't think people realize how valuable your time is. I deal with a lot of corporate executives, some big time sellers. I mean, time is money. And I think the biggest frustration in buying and selling is not respecting that time and putting a value of your time. I mean, when the market has plenty of inventory to choose from and there's a lot of selections, and you look at that house on a Saturday, you can check back next Thursday, there's still no activity or no offers, you're fine. But in this marketplace where things move quickly, timing is everything.
Right.
And having somebody that's working for your good, somebody that's working to delegate, like April was saying, no HOAs. Let's say you have a camper or a fifth wheel, you're looking, and you need to weed out properties that don't match your criteria. Well, Zillow or Redfin or Realtor.com is not going to give you that information.
No.
How about school zones? How important that? We've got little ones. How about certain school zones where you want to be? So a lot of those things come into play that most people don't think on timing, and how an agent can really factor in your timing in finding you one. I get it. There's always a factor involved in numbers, but I think the biggest thing that they can help you with is timing.
And I think the other thing is that some of these homes, depending on, the price range where it's located, what, everybody wants, that these homes will hit the market and hit the MLS, and then you're out there kind of searching on Zillow. Well, your buyer's agent can get a notification and send you those properties immediately, and you can see those properties and set up an appointment to go look at them.
Well, I've got Zillow, April. I've got Zillow or Realtor.com. We don't need an agent.
That's true. By the time you get a hold of the listing agent and try to set an appointment, they probably already have a contract.
And that's the thing April's talking. We got a lot more topics that we'll go into in the break, but that's what people don't realize. Just because it hits Zillow or one of these other sites or Realtor.com, we've already had the listing a week or two.
Mm-hmm.
It may be on a coming soon program. We've already going to talk to our buyers that are in our database. They've got first shots on it. You don't want to hear that, but that's just the truth.
That's true.
So having a connection with an agent in our business is never what you know, it's who you know. And we work this business through contacts. So that is so important. We'll come up on the side of this break. We're talking about buyers agents and important in saving money on your next purchase. You're listening to Real Estate with Ryan, and we're going to stay with you on the other side of the break.
Thanks.
Knoxville and East Tennessee. The region is known for its rolling hills, rivers, and lakes. There's no better place to work, live, or raise a family. Home is where your story begins. Buying or selling your home is a big decision, and you need a real estate team you can trust.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty, your hometown experts. Whether you're buying or selling a home, let us develop a winning game plan for you.
Hometown Realty is East Tennessee's #1 real estate group and a proud sponsor of the Vols.
Your friend promised we wouldn't be homeless.
He promised. He's doing everything to fix it.
You need to call and have him fix it now.
Hey, man.
Found us a house.
No, not yet. Let me call you back. We're working on it.
Ryan Coleman with Hometown
He
Realty.
says he's doing the best he can do, honey.
Well, he's taking too long. I knew we should have gone with Ryan Coleman.
Choosing the right agent is never easy.
Call your hometown experts. We'll take care of all the details and make sure you don't get stuck in a motel. Thank you for coming back to Real Estate with Ryan. Ryan and April Coleman here, holding down the fort.
That's
with
right.
Real Estate with Ryan. We're talking about buyer's agent, why there's value in somebody working for your time, saving you money, and being your point of contact. We talk so much about being stressful in the situation of selling and buying, who to trust.
Exactly.
I mean, do you go with that builder's representative, and
Oh, yeah.
they've got your best interest?
Nope.
Maybe not.
I'd say no.
Yeah, I mean, so there's so much value in that, and I think, excuse me, so many people that they have an opportunity to say, okay, well, I've bought and sold homes for many years. It's not my first rodeo, Ryan. So I get it. And so a lot of times they want to try to do the ropes and kind of go through the process themselves, and I appreciate that. I think though the experience factor in working with an agent really comes down to play. Listen. If you're in real estate and you've been doing it for a long time, you have access. We talked about before the break, we talked about having those off-market deals coming soon, opportunities that you're just not going to see in the newspaper or online.
Right.
So in a
By
hot
the time it
market
hits
with
the
things,
newspaper.
exactly, it's gone. I mean, Zillow has already got 3 offers.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So what good is a push or a notification on your cell phone? And we know as an investor, some of the best deals are never on the market. We buy apartment complexes and things like that. Guess what? They're not 100-unit apartment complexes out in the marketplace for sale on LoopNet. They're not.
Right.
You got to go off market. You
Right.
know those deals, right? They're not advertising those in the paper because they're gone.
Exactly.
So you have to be creative about your selection.
It's communication with other agents.
And I think that's when you make an offer, just because it's for sale and they've got a price doesn't mean it's a good value. So you're going to need your agent to have experience in the marketplace, whether you're downtown, whether you're in West Knoxville, you're in Loudoun or Blount County.
Right.
You need somebody to know your comparables. What homes are selling for, whether it's price per square foot, whether it's upgrades. Who's going to help you through that process to know whether you're going to make a good offer?
That's true.
So I just think that experience, there's no value that you could put on time and an experience.
That's very true.
And how many clients, April, have we helped that do a lot of relocation, people that come in out of town and they don't know the area?
That's true. Very true.
And what's the scariest thing that you can do to come to a brand new area? Like when I relocated here, it was one of the scariest things. Not only did I just relocate, I took my business here, didn't know anybody. It was just me and my dog Coco. We came here and, with a hope and a dream, and we came down. Yeah, I mean, I went to school here, but there was an opportunity. How frightening is it to come into a market where you don't know anybody?
Exactly.
And you're putting kids into place. You're starting new employment. You don't even know where the basic grocery and clothing things are.
And the other thing is when you have the listing, if you go to the listing agent, well, they're not going to tell you anything about the area or what area you want to be in or discuss that with you. They just want a contract.
Right.
You know, and so in the other sense, they're not going to fight for you and your needs and what, you're wanting or where you want to be. They're just going to say, oh, you want to buy it? I'll put a contract on it.
I think, listen, we have a lot of listings and we sell a lot of ours ourselves. Okay. So I'm not going to go into both sides and say that we're not successful selling homes ourselves when they call us. Okay. What I'm saying is that, on an average of 100 transactions, a lot of times buyers just do not buy the first home that they see.
That's true.
And the challenge on a listing agent is they're only going to be focused on just that property and really trying to make that work. And a lot of times we're able to make that work.
We are.
But more times than not, the buyers are going to look and going to comparison shop. They want to be in Hardin Valley. Great. Hey, maybe I want to live in Bearden. And it may be over a wide area. And if you're just working with the listing agent, they're not going to be able to show you those options.
No.
And I think it's so powerful to have a buyer agent that can explore multiple counties, multiple areas, and really work for your benefit. I think that most people really don't realize how valuable that is, saving you time and energy. And we always talk about the numbers factor, and we talked about that prior, April, but more times than not, to work with a good agent that knows the marketplace, that knows the schools, that knows transportation, opportunities for sports if your kids are in sports. We talk about private schools, got some of the best private schools in East Tennessee. Having that opportunity to do that, and a lot of times it doesn't cost you anything. Most all the time, our fee, if we're representing you as a buyer, is rolled into the deal, unless you buy something that's off market.
That's right.
And most all the times we're able to work that out to your advantage. So I think the biggest misconception is it's going to cost a lot of money to work with a good agent to delegate your time. I don't know of many places in business. I always say it's one of the risk-free opportunities. Where else can you hire somebody, work for them for an endless amount of time, no money up front, only paid if we're successful in helping you achieve your goals. And guess what? At the end, you don't even pay us.
Yeah.
It's paid by somebody else.
That's true.
There's no better guarantee in real estate and in the marketplace. I know that anybody I work with doesn't work like that. And so, think about that. Your real estate agent that knows the marketplace is going to be one of your best advocates in the marketplace, especially if you're relocating out of state.
Yes.
I mean, how many times do we take videos and pictures for people relocating down? They really just want to get a feel of it. They're going to be here 2 days. They come from Texas, and they really need to weed out properties that don't match what they're looking for. So
definitely,
I think that that's so important.
It is important.
What do you think about offers when we get to the contract phase, April?
Yeah, I was fixing to say structuring offers is probably one of the biggest things that I would say. Now, if you go to the listing agent, they're just going to say, hey, what do you want to offer? What do you want this? What do you want that? Let me just put it on a piece of paper for you and move on. Now, the buyer's agent, I feel like, will really, they should fight for what you're looking for, what you want, try to get you the best deal. Because even if you go to the listing agent, you don't know what that seller would or would not take. So you're just assuming, or you're just going by what your gut feeling is, and that other agent isn't going to fight for your price. So because you're going to be unrepresented at that time. So that's why I think it's very important with the buyer's agent that they're a strong negotiator. Not only with that, with contracts and getting you the most money, but also with inspections. Like
your builder, new construction or your developments, things like that. I mean, they got a one-sided contract. It's all set for the builder. Right. There's no. I think most people really don't realize new construction, any of your kind of builder contracts. When you go into the deal, guess what? It's one-sided. Yeah. It's all done by their lawyers. It's only going to protect the buyer. Yeah. And most people don't realize that they have an opportunity to negotiate that contract. What are you going to do when you enter that development? You enter the structure. Nobody's fighting for you. Everything's kind of set up for the opportunity that if you change your mind, tough. By the way, you've got a $20,000 deposit, $10,000 deposit. If you change the mind, that's going to go to the builder. Right. Oh, by the way, you waive in every inspection. We forget to talk about, well, you've got a home to sell. Who's going to make it contingent? Oh, yes, the builders make it contingent all the time. I mean, like any other seller, if you want to sell the property, sometimes you got another contingent sale that has to happen. Right. Perfect world. We all like the homes, no contingencies, cash, and move right in, right? But that's not the real world that we live in. And so sometimes there's hiccups in the deal that we've got to be able to make that work. And if you don't have somebody fighting that contract in the negotiation process regarding that, then guess what? It doesn't get entered into the deal. Right.
Yep, exactly. And then also when you have competing offers, making sure that you have the best offer, that you're represented very well with, hey, well, maybe we should take this out and not do this, or, push this off so that our offer is the best offer because this home is about to go quick.
And I think the biggest thing in those offers, you made a good point, is the buyer, again, they get excited. It's an emotional deal. The wife or husband is excited. And guess what? They give up too much information.
Yeah.
And before you know it, the builder's representative or the seller's representative is picking up on that. And they've been in the business for a while. They're going to pick up at that, use that to your disadvantage.
Yeah, that's true.
And before you know it, you've kind of put your foot in the door.
Yeah.
And opportunity ends up costing you or negotiating on something that you didn't have to negotiate.
Exactly.
Let's talk about saving money. If you're going to finance a deal, not all deals are cash. We've got great lenders or an opportunity to help you get financing that some other banks just do not have. We've got credit unions and a lot of opportunities out here, but a good agent's going to have access to financing that you're not going to be able to find online. And whether it's no down payment, whether it's no MI, whether it's jumbo financing, whether it's ARMs, all those different options that you're going to have. Maybe it's a credit score thing.
Right.
All those kinds of access.
And then maybe you thought that you would only qualify for one certain type of loan, but actually you qualify for a different loan that will save you money and be better. So
I think and then let's see what else we have here.
I think that choosing a good agent that will stick with you through the whole entire process, that will send you properties so that you don't have to look for properties, that are very involved, that answers questions, that are there for you and that you can trust, I think is number one to be looking into, that good buyer's agent.
I think it always comes down to who you trust, but you need somebody fighting in your corner. Hope you guys have enjoyed this show. We're talking about buyer representation and why I think it's a must if you're looking for a home and how that can help you in the marketplace. Don't be fooled by the internet searches. You need somebody good in your corner. And I know some good agents and a good team here in town that we'll be glad to help you. Definitely. As always, it's an easy call. If you need us at 693-SOLD. That's 693-7653. If you want more information, call us at go online at ryancoleman.org. As always, we thank you guys for listening. Have a great weekend.
That's right.
And we hope to see you next weekend.
Thank you.
Take care.